अब बात करते हैं टाटा टेक्नोलॉजीज़ की। टाटा टेक्नोलॉजी हाल ही की लिस्टिंग टाटा ग्रुप की कंपनी जो लिस्ट होकर आई और Q4 में कंपनी ने ज़्यादा कुछ खास डिलीवर नहीं किया। इनफैक्ट क्वार्टरली आधार पर बहुत ही फीका परफॉर्मेंस देखने को मिला है। वो आपके सामने है। रेवेन्यू आप देखिए 7% घटकर आया, मुनाफे में 27% तक की गिरावट रही, इबिटा ग्रोथ एकदम फ्लैट है, मार्जिन्स भी एकदम फ्लैट रहे। अब ऐसे में आपकी क्या रणनीति होनी चाहिए, ये आपके लिए करते हैं पेश। ईयर ऑन ईयर मार्जिन्स में इंप्रूवमेंट जरूर देखने को मिल रहा है। वैसे यहाँ से आगे की क्या दिशा रहेगी? कंपनी के CEO और MD वॉरेन हैरिस हमारे साथ हैं। Warren, thanks for taking time out for us. We've gone through those numbers and it's been a rather soft quarter for you. What has transpired really this quarter?
Sure. Well, for us, we're delighted actually with the numbers. If you look at our year-on-year numbers, we grew the business by 13% in US dollar terms, 15.9% in Indian rupees. We were relatively flat in terms of services sequentially, but if you double click on those numbers, I guided in January that we had some runoff at one of our largest customers, VinFast. And if you account for that, we actually grew our services outside of VinFast sequentially by 10%. And so the business is really performing at a very healthy clip. And so we're very pleased with how we finished the year.
So talking about VinFast, has that bottomed out already in Q4, or there is a likelihood that it could spill into Q1 as well?
Yeah, there's a couple of change requests that we've had to contend with as we transition from engineering to launch support. So I think the decoupling on the two electric vehicles that we've developed for them will be completed in the first quarter, and I think from the perspective of baseline revenues, we'll grow from there in Q2, Q3, and for the rest of the year. So I think we'll be through it come June.
You did record a very big deal in terms of BMW. So if you could give us an idea as to what the deal wins were for this quarter, and most importantly, what's the visibility like for 25?
Sure. Yeah, we announced BMW. There's been a couple of other deals that we've closed, but the first 3 months of the calendar year is typically slow in terms of large deal conversions, and so we expect an uptick in the next couple of months. But I think if we step back from the seasonality that we very often see in our business, we're not seeing any tapering in terms of demand. We are very bullish about FY25. We continue to not only leverage the endorsement of BMW, but continue to work hard to align ourselves with the investments that all of our customers are making in this significant transition from legacy propulsion systems to new energy vehicles and devices. So for us, we think we're in a great swim lane. We think we have demonstrated a value proposition that is truly differentiated. And despite the fact that some customers are signaling that from a sales perspective, things are slowing down on the EV.
That's exactly what I want to pick your brain on a little bit more, Warren, especially for players like Tesla. We've seen their sales come down. Does that impact the contracts that you have entered into? Is that kind of a sign that maybe EV market could slow down?
Well, we're seeing that our customers are reacting to a couple of things. One, the pendulum has swung in terms of propulsion systems. So, despite the rhetoric that is coming from some customers, we don't see any slowdown in the investment in electric vehicles, smart electric vehicles, and ultimately what will be smart devices. I think what we're also seeing in Europe and North America is a real concern with regard to the capacity, the export capacity that's building in China. and the sort of technology and price advantage that many of the new energy vehicle companies in China have is prompting our customers in the West to invest in order to ensure that the technology gap doesn't widen.
Okay.
And we're obviously playing a very important role in enabling that.
So we don't see business for you slowing down, despite the fact that perhaps sales may have slowed down for the other players in US or the West. Can you give me an insight on how margins are likely to stay? Margins have improved year on year. They're steady quarter on quarter. Is there further scope of improvement, and can you better this 18.5% margin?
Yeah, we think that there will be improvement. Obviously, when you go through a big transition like WinFast, there are some inefficiencies that get built into the system as you transition people from one project to another. But steady state, we think that margins will improve quarter on quarter, and certainly as far as the full year is concerned. We are still less than optimized in terms of our offshore bias, and so there's work to do there. We're also investing in productivity capabilities in and around the use of automation and technologies like Gen AI.
My final question to you is, of course, we've discussed in detail what the EV situation looks like, but how about aerospace? Because the last time we spoke, you had mentioned about growing business from players like Airbus. What is the prognosis for FY25?
Yeah, and one of the highlights of the last quarter of fiscal 2024 is the fact that we've seen a significant uptick at Airbus. I mentioned when we spoke in January that we built a big order book at Airbus. We've been through all of the accreditations. We've opened offices in Toulouse and Hamburg, and we were looking forward to partnering with Airbus as they accelerate their manufacturing throughput capabilities and as they invest in greener products. And we're starting to see that play out. So we had almost a doubling of the Airbus business off a relatively small base in a Q3 to Q4. We expect that trend to continue as we work through this current fiscal year.
Warren, it's always a pleasure speaking to you. Good luck for FY25. स्टॉक आपकी स्क्रीन पर फटाफट से लेकर आते हैं। थोड़ा सा शांत है, 3.5% की गिरावट इनफैक्ट देखने को मिली पिछले 3 महीनों में। वो BMW की डील के बावजूद थोड़ा सा अंडर परफॉर्मेंस है, लेकिन ध्यान रखिएगा उस डील का फायदा कंपनी को सेकंड हाफ में ही मिलने वाला है। चलिए इस मोड पर लेंगे एक ब्रेक, एक ट्रेड हमारे जानकार और जोड़ेंगे और फिर लेकर आएंगे इनके ट्रेड्स का रिकैप आगे।